don't just go out in the workforce to make a buck. Make a buck with impact and with legacy, because that way you're going to look back at your life and you'll think to yourself, if I do that in this particular fashion, that, my friend, is a life well lived.
Welcome to the Fitness CEO Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, friends, to another amazing episode of the Fitness CEO Podcast. I am the Fitness CEO, your host, Bryce Henson. And before I get into today's solo episode, I want to give you a friendly reminder to give us a like and subscribe if you get value from the show. That way we can keep producing this content for you for free. So today, in my solo episode, I'm going to take us back and really ground us on two major reasons that are my whys on why I decided to open up a fitness business underneath the umbrella of Fit Body Bootcamp well over 10 years ago, back in 2012. And it was a recent traveling trip to Asia, if you can believe, that really highlighted this experience and grounded me to that experience. And this is so important, because the fact is, my friend, you can make money and you can run business in a lot of different areas, but really you want to have a business of purpose, of meaning, of impact. And that's what today's episode is about. And I want to give you insight to my journey, the big whys, the foundation, so that way it can serve you at a higher level. So to give you just a little high level overview, a few years ago, I had this vision to bring on a virtual assistant by the name of Emma Galua, who is a dear friend, my executive assistant to this day, back in 2017. And she's from the Manila, Philippines. And I've always had a deep, strong tie to the culture of the Philippines. I had a best friend growing up, visited there in 2016. So just fell in love with the culture, the beauty, very impressed with the level of English as well. And also fast forward to more recent times, we've had a big labor shortage and workforce shortage in North America. So not only was it advantageous to bring on a virtual assistant for me and my business to do all the things specifically at my gym business, because I run a gym business, but also oversee the brand from a franchisor perspective. But specifically speaking to the gym business, there's a lot of value on bringing in someone who can execute all the tasks that need to be done in the business, the back end stuff, the social media marketing, the CRM and the point of sale, back and forth, some client communication, some lead follow-up, all these things that are not done at the local gym, but they need to be done in order to move the business forward, but they don't need to be done by you or my coaching team, because the biggest value from a coaching perspective is pouring into your clients, is coaching them on their mindset, their movement, their nutrition, and really being there to build strong relationships. Because when you do that, that's the biggest value, and that way your clients will stay, pay, and refer, which is the name of the game to grow our brand's profitability, to grow your profitability in whatever business adventure that you're taking off, whether it's a fitness business, whether it's Fit Body, or any business for that matter. So this all to say, I give you that context just to showcase we've built out this really robust virtual assistant placement program. That way we can support, and we've had supported over 24 of our franchise partners by placing them a virtual assistant to help move their business forward and increase the profitability, which actually makes it a win-win. It's a win for the VA, especially the cost of living is significantly less than here in North America, and it adds a lot of value to our franchise partners. So high level, that's the reason that we built the program. And fast forward to March of 2023, earlier in this year, my brother Barrett, who's our executive director in coaching and profitability, him and I took a long journey over 7,000 miles to Manila in the Philippines, really to build relationships, because we are in the relationship business here at Fit Body way more than even the fitness, nutrition, or coaching business. We're in the relationship business first and foremost. And we also want to further develop our recruitment pipeline for our VA placement program to further support the mission and further support our franchise partners and the brand, because we have a whatever it takes mentality to make sure that our people are set up for success. So we took a week trip. It was an amazing time. We traveled 7,000 miles. The jet lag was real. We ultimately got there and spent many days connecting with my Emma, if you will, her husband John, my brother Barrett, his VA, many other VAs, which I'm going to point out two specific experiences that were really noteworthy. But we had a great time really connecting, building bread, bonding, and really developing our relationships for future success within the Fit Body brand. But there's two special occasions that I want to bring attention to. And the first was our VA dinner collectively, not just with our headquarters team, but we actually invited over 24 of our VAs that support of other locations within the Fit Body brand out to a really fancy buffet evening. So we planned it in the middle of the week and at one of the high-end restaurants in Manila. And we wanted to basically show up in good fashion, really celebrate and pour love and support and appreciation for our VAs, and the franchise partners who had a VA basically sponsor their VA. So it was a massive win-win-win. So Barrett and I were out there and we hosted the dinner. My assistant Emma set everything up, being that she's local. And it was just an amazing experience. Like the food of an all-you-can-eat buffet in Manila is one of their 5-star restaurants, was absolutely beautiful. It's an incredible experience, but most importantly, connecting with our remote teammates, understanding, their fears, their challenges, their aspirations, their ambitions, their successes. It was just a really, really cool, unique experience being in the heart of Asia, really, repping the Fit Body Bootcamp flag and really connecting with our people there. We broke bread, and we also just, got so much love and appreciation. In fact, many of the VAs had never been, at a dinner to this grand scale. In fact, one of them turned to me afterwards and said, "Bryce and Barrett, I am so grateful. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity." So it was really heartwarming, and from a relationship perspective, from a connection perspective, and we felt we had a duty, obligation, responsibility to show up and give love and provide that connection, and we certainly felt that in return. So it was one of the nights that I'll never forget. It's just a really, really strong experience and really connected our Fit Body Bootcamp family, not only here in North America, but ultimately throughout the world in Asia as well. So that was one of the highlights. But the second highlight, which really I want to point or draw your attention to, happened throughout the week. And it was something I'll never forget. And again, it grounded me to 2 foundational reasons why I became a fitness business owner, why I became a Fit Body Bootcamp owner, that I really am going to provide you vision to, but really challenge you to do the same. To set the scene, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to shoot an interview where I can get on camera for our VA placement process, because we have a learning management system we call the Fit Body Bootcamp Academy, with all the modules and training of marketing, sales, operations, all the things that all of our franchise partners need to run a business. And we have a course called the VA Placement Program, where we make it super easy. We recruit the VAs, we help guide our franchise partners in the interview process, and just make it really, really simple for one of our franchise partners who's interested in securing a VA to basically recruit, attract, hire on, and train their VA. So awesome program. And I knew it to be true that if I could get a conversation videotaped and then put on the academy, it would really reduce any concerns or fears or apprehensions for any franchise partner or Fit Body Bootcamp owner who's interested in having a VA, but skeptical for whatever reason. So the vision was we were going to shoot 2 specific interviews, one with my VA Emma and her husband John, and then secondarily an interview with Barrett, my brother, Executive Director of Coaching and Profitability, and then his VA Mabs. So we set it up in actually Emma's house, and we shot 2 podcasts. It was awesome podcast, and I was the interviewer, the host, if you will, and my job was just to kind of guide them through, give them some questions to allow them to provide the visibility on what they do, what their day-to-day looks like, how they learn, how they train, what tasks they execute, just really providing visibility, so that way there's creates more understanding, and also that a franchise partner will be attracted to, or at least be open to bringing on a VA. So that was the context of the interview. But the latter part, I asked a couple kind of thought-provoking questions. One of them was, what are your professional goals, and how do you want to continue to add value to your location within Fit Body? And the second one, what are your life goals? What are your life ambitions and dreams? And really the point of that question was just to humanize the experience, to just showcase to our brand, to our franchise partners, to you, to people that, hey, these virtual assistants are just everyday people, good people wanting to earn a living, raise their family, do good by people, be positive in their positive influences in their communities. So I think for me, that was, the point of me asking those questions. So when I did, in the conclusion of the first interview, as you would imagine, there was some emotion in the room, especially as Emma and John kind of cited their goals and their dreams to, raise their daughters and make sure they're married and then, maybe live on a beach destination sometime in the future. And it's really heartwarming and heart-touching. And once that conversation finished, my brother, who was hitting the record button or the camera, he said, "Bryce, are we finished?" I said, "Yeah, we're clear. You can hit end." So Barrett basically stops the camera. And at that point, the emotion in the room had already changed. And as soon as Barrett hits the camera, I turn to my left, and all of a sudden I see my VA, Emma, and I see her lips starting to quiver. And I think to myself, oh my goodness, she's about to cry. And true to form, 3 seconds later, she just starts bawling tears. And I stopped for a second, and they were tears of joy and happiness and appreciation and gratitude. It was just extremely heart-touching. And as we know to be true, human nature, we exchange emotions and transfer emotions very easily. I'd noticed something when I turned to the left. And all of a sudden I see her husband, John, and then Barrett's VA's Mabs. They start to choke up. And as I can see, basically their eyes are watering, and then their lips starting to quiver. And then, kid you not, 3 seconds later, they start crying. So at this point, the emotion in the room is absolutely transferred. It's completely changed. It's intense. It's emotional. It's positive, though. It's tears of joy and gratitude and appreciation. So then I turn to my right, and my eyes lock on with Barrett. And you can just tell both of us start getting choked up. The emotion in the room was too great. And I think to myself, oh my goodness, we're about to cry. And true to form, 2 seconds later, Barrett and I join John, Emma, and Mabs, and we just burst out in tears of joy, of gratitude, appreciation, and just mutually, a mutual level of gratitude there for about 2 minutes or so. And as we all kind of exchanged in this really, really touching, emotional place, Emma turns up and she said, "Bryce, I just want to let you know, Fit Body Bootcamp is heaven sent. We impact so many people, our global clients in North America, from fitness and fat loss and nutrition and mindset coaching. We do that in the trenches every day. But Bryce, I know the elite trainings. I know the world conferences that we do. We change the lives of our coaches and our franchise partners, and we provide them so much value to put them in a position where they can change lives. I gotta, look at our situation as well and look at 7,000 miles away from your headquarters. You are changing the lives of, my people of here, in Asia, supporting our Fit Body Bootcamp locations. And, for me, it was really touching. It was a heartwarming moment. Hey there, my name is Bryce Henson, CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, and you might know me as the host of this podcast, but what you might not know is that I started my fitness business journey as a Fit Body location owner. And since 2012, I've been able to impact my community while creating financial freedom, both for myself and my family too. You see, by using Fit Body's proven business model, we give you all the support and guidance you need to be your own boss and build a business that aligns with your passion for fitness. And being we are the absolute best at launching and scaling our franchise partners gyms, we are now excited to announce our 100 member guarantee. Now you might be thinking, Bryce, what is that? Well, we are so confident that we'll launch your Fit Body Bootcamp location with well over 100 paying members from day one on your grand opening that if we don't, we'll run your marketing till we do. That's how confident we are in our ability to support you and guide you through this process. So if you're interested in creating more income through impact, click the link somewhere around this video to apply. To kind of bring this back to the reason I shot this episode was two reasons. The two foundational reasons I started a fitness business through the Fit Body Bootcamp brand was number one was yes, to build income. And I've always wanted to be a very successful person. I've always wanted to financially be very, very, very successful. I've made that decision when I was 8 years old, okay? But more than that, I wanted to have impact. I wanted to have purpose. I wanted to have fulfillment. And the reason is I realized at a young age, I could make money doing a lot of things, just like you can. But if I just was out to make money, I would probably went into high finance or investment banking or something. But then I looked at that, and the call to action, the challenge for you is that going to really fill your cup? Is that going to be fulfilling? Is that going to have the impact that you want? And for me, the answer was no. And for me, why I'm so passionate about fitness, our global mission is to inspire fitness and change lives every day. Like fitness, it changes people. It changes humanity. It changes lives. And for me, I wanted income, but I also wanted impact. And that was a foundational reason I joined Fit Body Bootcamp and I started my own fitness business. The second reason, which has some similarities, has to do with legacy. Because at the end of the day, yes, you can make income and yes, you can have impact, but really, are you doing something that's going to live after you, that's going to really, really touch people in a major way? And I love to use this analogy of a rock in the water, and we all know this to be true. If you take a rock and you throw it in the water, yes, it cuts the water at first glance, but then something magical happens. What happens is the ripples happen, okay? And the waves of that initial collision that the rock hit the water, it has a ripple effect. And for me, that's what legacy is. It's the ripple effect of of, you being able to change your client's life, get them off of medication or prescription drugs, or get them off of obesity, or increase their confidence, increase their enthusiasm, increase their vibrancy, at life. And when you do that, you change that person. But then the best part about it is when that person becomes changed, they're a husband, they're a spouse, they're a parent, they're a daughter or a son, they're a work colleague, okay? They're a community person. What happens is when you are able to change that person's life and set them up for success, well, then they become the best parent or spouse or child or community person for their community, for their family, and for their friends. It becomes a ripple effect. It becomes a true legacy play. And for me, my friend, yes, I wanted to be successful. I want to be successful. I always want to be successful from a financial perspective. But for me, the impact and the legacy was something that I, could not resist. And that's why I made the decision to become a fitness business owner. And really my call to action for you today is, you're a smart person. You can make a living doing a wide variety of things in whatever it is. Maybe it's not a fitness business. Maybe it's not a Fit Body Boot Camp. Maybe it's not within this industry, but whatever it is, my challenge, my passionate plea for you today is don't just go out in the workforce to make a buck. Make a buck with impact and with legacy, because that way you're going to look back at your life and you'll think to yourself, if I do that in this particular fashion, that, my friend, is a life well lived. And that's my message for you today. I hope you can feel my passion. This has been a game changer in my life, and I want it for you. So with all that said, I want you to remember one other thing. No one is coming to save you. You must save yourself, and the time is now.